We live in a world where we're told more about our limitations rather than our potential. How many have ever been told you couldn't do something? Raise your hands, please. Very good. And MIT did a study. Study indicated if I tell you you can't do something, somebody else has to come along and say you can do it, you can't do it, you can't do it, 17 times to neutralize that one time. That's why my favorite book says faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. So I want you to think about why you're here. What drove me and what allowed me to break through was the desire to take care of my mother. She altogether adopted 7 children. Sharon DeBello, one of my sisters, lived here in Atlanta. And my granddaughter Diamond and my great-grandson Nigel. And as I think about my mother, she worked on Miami Beach with a wealthy family. She cooked for them. And she cleaned their homes and she kept their children. We ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for. And we wore the hand-me-down clothes of the children that she kept. And I remember walking around these big, beautiful mansions and looking at the carpet. We had linoleum in our home. The millennials don't know anything about linoleum. In fact, you know, I used to think people in their 40s are old. I'm 74, so, you know, I feel like I served in the Lord's Supper. But, you know, I cheat. You know, I look good for 74. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I use mascara to cover my gray. I don't leave home without it. My children said, Daddy, you look distinguished with your gray hair. I said, at 74, I'm not trying to look distinguished. I'm trying to look young. I remember, if you go online and see this, I spoke at the Georgia Dome, and when it existed, and after I finished, a lady came back saying, she said, we had a speaker be canceled. Miss Brown, I know you're tired. Do you have enough energy for another speech? I said, no, I don't. She said, we can pay your full fee. I said, the Lord is able. People say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves.
Yeah. All right.
Let me tell you something, fellas. Even if you're as humble as I am, you got some money, and women will find something cute on you.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got earlobes like Terrence Howard Honey. Got lips like Tom Cruise. I used to be so broke, I walked past a bank and tripped the alarm. Predators call the house of our children and answer the phone and say, my daddy say he ain't home. Let us say together, I'll never be broke again.
I'll never be broke
Say
again.
with conviction, I'll never be broke again.
I'll never be broke again.
Yes, you won't. You're destined to create wealth. You were chosen to win. You'll never be broke again. And as you think about your goals and dreams, your why, what drove me, I worried about my mother at home. I never forget when I made my mind up that I was going to do this. Write this down. Commit yourself. As you think about somebody you love, how many of you have somebody you love that you want to do something for? Raise your hands, please. I decided I wanted to buy her home. I made a commitment to do it. The difference between being involved in a dream and committed to a dream, the next time you have bacon and eggs, look at it. The chicken was involved. The pig was committed. You have to give it all up. So I was determined to buy my mother a home. And I'll never forget, I was driving her in an area in North Miami Beach, and she said, Leslie, slow down. I said, yes, ma'am, Mama. She said, look at that house. And I knew this would catch your eye. She said, boy, if I lived in something like that, I would feel like Mrs. Rockefeller. I said, you really like that? She said, yes. And so I said, very good. I made a note of that, and I made a commitment I was going to get it. I didn't have the money. I didn't have a contract signed on it, but I made a commitment in my heart I was going to do that. Here's what I know, that when you have a goal to do something, if there's an argument between your mind and your heart, follow your heart. My mind said, Les Brown, you can't do that. What I'm doing now, I didn't do for 14 years, because when I was in the 5th grade, I was labeled educable mentally retarded and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade. I failed again when I was in the 8th grade. And I'll never forget a gentleman who interrupted my thinking. He said, young man, go to the board and work this problem out for me. I said, sir, I can't do that. He said, why not? I said, I'm not one of your students. He said, look at me. I said, yes, sir. Go to the board and do what I'm asking you to do anyhow. The other students started laughing, saying, he's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley's smart. He's DT. What's DT? He's a dumb twin. And I said, I am, sir. He came from behind his desk. He looked at me. He said, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And that was a turning point in my life. We all have moments where our thoughts and our vision of ourselves will be interrupted. And here's what I'm doing now is an interruption with you. How you live your life is a result of the story you believe about yourself. And here's what I'm saying to you, that you have the ability to do more, that you have greatness within you, and when you're pursuing your greatness, you don't know what your limits are, so you act like you don't have any. So if you think about someone that you love, that's your compelling reason, someone that you want to provide for. I made up my mind that I was going to take care of her, and I did. When my brothers and sisters called me and said, Leslie, are you seated? Are you sitting down now? No, what's wrong with Mama? Mama's sick. And she has breast cancer and is terminal. But you don't have to worry, Leslie. We know you just got reelected to the Ohio legislature. There are a lot of nice nursing homes here in Dade County. I said, listen to me. Don't touch her. I'll leave now. I'll be there tomorrow. They said, but you just got elected. I don't care anything about that. I told Mama that I'll take care of her. So I had a problem. How could one woman raise 7 children who couldn't take care of themselves, but 7 grown people couldn't take care of one woman? I had a problem with that. And so I resigned and went back to Miami to take care of Mama. I remember ringing the doorbell, and I heard a friend of hers, Miss Mildred, say, Mamie, Leslie's here. And I heard Mama say, I knew he would come. I knew he would come. How many of you have someone that you want them to know if something happens to them, you'll be there for them? Raise your hands, please. Yes. And so I made a commitment that I was going to take care of her. And I did that. I walked away from everything. How many of you know the things that can happen in your life that will interrupt your pursuit of your dream? Do you know that can happen?
Yes.
It can happen. Yes. And so I never forget when I drove Mama back in that area, that house she saw, she said, Leslie, slow down. I said, what is it, Mama? Yeah, that house is again. You know, I love that house. I said, Mama, you won't believe this. She said, what? I said, I know the people there. She said, no. I said, would you like to see it? She said, yes. So I drove up. Mama was 78 at the time. I went around and I opened the car door for her. She held my arm as I was walking toward the house. She stopped. She said, Leslie? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, boy, you sure you know these people? I said, yes, ma'am, Mama, I do. We got to the door. I couldn't hold it anymore. I put the key in. I turned the knob. I opened the door. I said, Mrs. Rockefeller, this is your home. She said, what are you talking about, Leslie? I said, Mom, it's yours. It's fully furnished and everything is paid for. She looked at me. She stuck her head in the door and said, anybody home? I said, Mama, there's no one here but us. She walked in. She said, Leslie, you didn't have to do this. I said, you didn't have to adopt us either, but you did. And she walked around and she said, thank you, Jesus. No one could have ever told me that something like this would happen to me. And she looked at me, she said, and you were such a crazy child. I said, I know, but I got money now. I took it myself. Here's what I know. Now, this talk might not even be for you, but for those of you that it is for, you will know. You will hear me in your heart. There are those of you that are hungry for more. And as you think about your goals and dreams, it might be for wealth, it might be for health, it might be for more love. But here's what I know, you can create it. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the greatest country in the world. You don't have to make it great again, it has never stopped being great. We live in the greatest country on the planet. There's nothing, I've spoken in 51 different countries. There's nothing even close. And we have the ability to create wealth. We have the ability to do more, to achieve more. Given my circumstances, born in an abandoned building, being adopted, my both birth parents stood up now and said, hello, son. I would not know either one I can tell you that the experience that I've had and things that we share with you will allow you to begin to access a part of yourself that you don't know right now, to help you to begin to change the world. So here's what I'm looking for. Messages of hope. I want you to take your phones out and videotape me. You do realize that one suicide takes place every 40 seconds. 3,000 daily. People take their lives feeling defeated, helpless, and powerless. So I decided I wanted to, my goal, I train speakers because we need messages of hope. When there's hope in the future, that gives you power in the present. How people live their lives as a result of the story that they believe about themselves. When you speak, as I train you, you interrupt their story. When you speak, because of the things that you've experienced and you've overcome, you empower them to begin to step away from their current belief system and become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter with their lives. We now need to stand together to give people hope and give them the opportunity to manifest their greatness and help them begin to come out of a dark place. When Mr. Washington spoke to me and said, young man, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. I was in the 11th grade, and from that time to this time, I became a different person because of the relationships that I developed. And so what we do is that as we think about the people that take themselves out who feel hopeless, that we have the opportunity to do something with ourselves. This lady, Mrs. Mamie Brown, she wanted children. She never had any. She adopted Wesley and I. Wesley served in Vietnam. He's a 26-year veteran, and so which one am I, on the right or your left? I'm the cute one now, which one? I'm on your left, all right? And so this is Wesley and I with sugarcane. How many of y'all have been eating sugarcane, all right? You know, you can tell, I did a tour with our president called Millionaires in Training. He was lamenting with a reporter saying, I only got $200 million for my dream. I said, let me ask you something. How many of you, if you had $200 million for your dream, you would have had a good shot of making your dream come true? Raise your hand. If you give me $200 million, that would be my dream. We had 2 pieces of sugar cane. But from that time to this time, I've earned over $65 million. Now, I don't tell you that to impress you, but to impress upon you. Which one would you want to teach you how to make your first million? How many of you ready to make it, raise your hand?
Hey.
Which one would you want to teach you how to make your first million?
You.
You better believe it. I got it the old-fashioned way. I earned it. Let the record show me.
All right, brother.
Don't let this 74 fool you. But let me share something with you. You got a story. How many of you going through some things? Raise your hands, please. How many of you had some setbacks and failures? Raise your hands, please. How many of you like to help people? Raise your hands, please. Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. I tell a story about how I was turned down over and over again getting a job as a disc jockey and built $1 million company. I know people who've done some incredible things, and I can tell you the system works against you. They tell us, oh, you can only get so much for minimum wage, but they don't put a cap on how much the owners make. And so in order to break through and earn more money, you've got to be hungry. You got to do what you're doing right now, showing up for events that will allow you to begin to think beyond your mental conditioning and circumstances and begin to make yourself more valuable. Today, write this down. You expand or you are expendable. 6 million jobs will be lost over the next 2 years. Over 20,000 jobs being lost every day according to the Department of Labor. How many of you know there's no such thing as job security? Raise your hands, please. And so therefore, the Optimist Club is right. The future belongs to those who prepare for it. And so the challenge for most people is the gap between the haves and the have-nots. It's going to, in this period of time, will be so wide, the have-nots will never, ever catch up again. You're in the right place at the right time. You have the right mindset. And the single difference between the have-nots and the haves is the ability to have a vision for yourself to change your mindset. Most people have a broke mindset, and they don't even know it. Be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so it's a process. Part of it, turn that television off. I know that's going to be hard for some of you. They have subliminal messages that are being communicated to people that we don't know. We can't hear with our physical ears or see with our eyes. That's programming us. And the average person watches more television than people that are wealthy. You've got to begin to look at yourself and say, what are the things that I'm doing? Einstein said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. When I was shining Mr. Swiderski's shoes, this wealthy guy that my mother worked for in Miami Beach, he was listening to people every day, motivational messages, Earl Nightingale. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Zig Ziglar, if you give enough people what they want, they'll give you what you want. Jim Rohn, when the end comes to you, let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. As I was shining his shoes, unbeknownst to me, my mind was being programmed to do more, to have more, to experience more. You're being programmed right now. I'm deprogramming. I'm interrupting every negative, toxic thought in your mind. When I get through speaking, I'm an assassin. I'll kill every poverty demon in your head.
All right. Yeah.
People spend more money on entertainment than they do for their empowerment. Warren Buffett was asked a question in the middle of the recession, what's the most important investment you can make? And this is the time. Here's a guy that has billions of dollars in real estate, billions of dollars in the stock market. He said the most important investment you can make is in yourself. Yeah. That's what you have done. Give yourselves a round of applause.
All right.
Come on, bring your energy level up.
All right.
I want you to know that you have an advantage. You are different. You are uncommon. One great American said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the still calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly and say, this I have done. That's why you've showed up. That's why we're here. You're standing up for your dreams. You're uncommon. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
Come on, bring your energy level up.
Yeah.
And so you realize 70% of the people who win the lottery, they lose the lottery. Write this down. If what your requirements, what you acquire in life exceed your sense of self-worth,
yes,
you will engage in unconscious self-destructive behavior. Mm-hmm. You want to have a strategy to work on yourself continuously. King World paid me $5 billion in 1992 to do a show. Now, I'll never forget walking through the studio in Manhattan. My mentor, Mike Williams, who's the author of the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, he kept saying to me, Brownie, this is not the mountaintop. Brownie, there are no overachievers in the universe. Brownie, you deserve to be here. Brownie, continue to work on yourself. I got so busy doing interviews, so busy being a celebrity, I stopped listening to motivational messages. I stopped my ritual of reading 10 to 20 to 30 pages of something positive every day to continue to program myself. I stopped all the things that got me there. I said to myself, this is too good to be true. Thou shalt decree a thing and shall be established unto you. This is too good to be true. Something is bound to happen.
It did.
And it did. Mm-hmm. Highest rated cancer talk show in the history of television. I spoke death on my own dream. Death and life is in the tongue. Isn't that interesting?
Yes,
It
yes.
says death and life because we speak more death. Write this down. Be mindful of the words that you use. Be mindful. Don't say I'm broke. So I'm overcoming the cash flow problem. Be mindful of the words that you use about you, about your circumstances. I'm telling you what I know. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. You're more powerful than you give yourself credit for being. The hunger factor. It's very important that you get a coach, somebody who's experienced, someone who's accomplished, that can help you get to that next level, that next level. Why, Les? Because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. Serena Williams is the most accomplished tennis player on the planet, and she has a coach. You can't read the label when you're locked in the box. Next thing that's very important is you engage in an ongoing process that allows you to begin to deprogram your mind for wealth. Other thing is, I never forget, Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, you want to be successful? I said, yes, sir. He said, you got to develop presentation power. I said, what do you mean? He said, once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. He gave me his car keys, told me to go in his car at 12 noon and listen to a guy named Paul Harvey. Had a program called The Rest of the Story. He was the greatest personality in the history of radio. How many remember Paul Harvey? Millennials don't know anything about it. He's a bad boy, am I right? They don't make him like that anymore. And I listen to Paul Harvey every day to learn how to begin to communicate. And the other thing is, you have to surround yourself with OQP, only quality people. Write this book down and make sure you get it. By Mike Williams, The Road to Your Best Stuff. He saw this Les Brown. I was a disc jockey at WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio. I did not know this Les Brown existed. It's a Brownie. You know why you go see Zig Ziglar, Dr. Norman, Vincent Peale, and Robert Schuller? I said, yeah, because I like those dudes. No, that's in you. You like to help people. You got a funny laugh. You're always holding court here at the radio station. That's who you are. And he called me for 14 years and asked me, what are you doing with your story? How many of you got a story? Raise your hands, please. That story has value, not only in this country, but around the world. I'm telling you what I know. I've been amazed. And so as you think about yourselves and think about your goals, take 20 minutes each day, your first 20 minutes. When you wake up, read 20 to 30 pages when you get up in the morning. When you wake up, pull up YouTube and watch me giving a speech in the Georgia Dome. Watch me give a speech called It's Not Over Till You Win. Getting Unstuck. That's another one. You want to see that. And me and Eric Thomas. Why? Because now you're going to be programming your day. And whatever you hear the first 20 minutes when you wake up, it will affect the spirit of your day. Do not look at the television and the problems of the world. If something's going on serious, somebody will tell you about it. Mm-hmm. You can transform an audience individually and collectively. If you're involved in sales, you want to learn how to increase your presentation power. Allows you to make a sale, to make a point, to make a difference. You can create instant credibility when you increase your presentation power. Be mindful of what you say and how you say it, and get some coaching in that area. The other thing is, it gives you credibility. How many have a college education? Raise your hands, please. The majority of you. How many have given a lecture at Harvard? Raise your hands. Very few. I've done it. Okay. Shake someone's hand on your right or left and say, that's in my future. Do that right now. Say, that's in my future.
That's in my future.
That's in my future.
You can do more. It allows you to accomplish more. To do things that you don't even know that you can do when you increase your ability to communicate. Toastmasters. How many of you heard of Toastmasters? Yeah. I received the Golden Gavel Award from Toastmasters. And I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you the value of presentation power. Learning and being coached on how to begin to present yourself and your ideas. I've selected along with General Norman Schwarzkopf, Robert Schuller, Lee Iacocca, Paul Harvey, and me. They're among the top 5 speakers in the world. Had no idea I could do it. Number one issue I want to share with you. In the last 2 weeks, I met someone named Peter Anthony. My income grew by 75%. Write this down. Iron sharpening iron. You want to practice OQP, only quality people. Dennis Kimbrough from Atlanta said, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to get a new group.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. And I heard that, I got all the broke people out of my life. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. Because people rub off on you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what I know. It will interrupt your life. It will compromise your power. There are 2 types of relationships. There are nourishing relationships and toxic relationships. Nourishing relationships, they inspire you. They bring the best of you. Toxic relationships, they drain you. And so you want to begin to start a 30-day action plan, and I want you to text me, and I'm going to send you this slide presentation. How many like to have it? So give you instructions on what to do. Because you're watching me because this is in you. And as you text me right now, we'll send you some other additional videos and things to do. But I can share with you, based upon my own experience, this is the best of times and worst of times. And this is the time you want to be intense, to create wealth. How many of you have children? Raise your hands, please. My oldest son, 53, Calvin, had a stroke. I don't care how old your children become, they're still your children. He had to be fed with a tube through his stomach. And I prayed to God. I said, Lord, please heal my son. My youngest son, John Wesley, he was trying to medicate himself with medical marijuana and blunts. He suffers from bipolar. I believe in the power of prayer. And I went on YouTube and asked people to pray for my son. I said, don't even pray for me. I was in the hospital and they're about to give me a procedure at Cleveland Clinic. And they put an X next to my esophagus on both sides. I said, why are you doing this? Well, procedure we're going to do, you might not be able to speak again. I said, you gotta be kidding me. I'm in the hospital in a gown. You know, they left the room. I took my phone out. I said, you know what? They said I might not be able to talk tomorrow morning. So I said, I'm talking tonight. I gave an hour and a half lecture from our hospital bed. Over 4 million people saw it around the world. Dad called me and said, Les, he said, I can't believe it. He said, you in the hospital? Yeah. All the medical instruments going off. They come in the room giving me shots and everything. I said, I'm going to talk till I go to sleep. I said, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to work my way out of here. But anyhow, I came through and they said, cancer metastasized to your spine. They said, you know, we got a choice and we do the surgery. Chances of you becoming a quadriplegic or you die, and your chance of surviving with cancer in your spine is slim to none. I said, I'll take slim. I'll take slim in a heartbeat. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, behave, whatever. So anyhow. So I got a new book coming out called The Hunger Factor. Let us say together, you gotta be hungry.
You gotta be hungry.
You never forget, Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, how are you going to buy that home for your mother? I said, you know, I'd like to become a disc jockey. He said, you got to be hungry. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry are relentless. People that are hungry are unstoppable. I said, sir, I'm hungry to take care of my mother. I'm hungry, sir, to provide for her. He said, how you plan to do it? I said, I'd like to be a disc jockey. He says, good. Here's my business card. Take this to WMBM radio station on Miami Beach. Milton Butterball Smith, I trained that boy. Tell him I sent you. I went to WMBM radio station. Hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, young man, you have any journalism in your background? I said, no, sir, I don't. Do you have any experience in broadcasting? I said, no, sir, I don't. He said, I'm sorry, we don't have any job for you. How many ever been rejected? Raise your hands, please. I was devastated with the rejection. I went back and I said, Mr. Washington, they said, no. He said, don't take it personally. He said, you got to be hungry. Go back again. I went back again. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, I know what your name is. Weren't you here yesterday? I said, yes, sir. Did I tell you no yesterday? I said, yes, sir. He said, then why are you back today? I said, well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. He said, no one was laid off or fired. Now, get on out of here. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, I know what your name is. Weren't you here the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. He said, then why are you back today? I said, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. He said, no one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now, if you come back here again, I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball, how are you? He looked at me with rage. He said, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. My favorite book says the greatest among you will be your servant. How many of you are serious about your goals? Raise your hands, please. Write this down. Provide more service than you get paid for. Provide more service than you get paid for. Most people have a relationship where they pay you just enough to keep you from quitting and you work just hard enough to keep from getting fired. No. Hold yourself to a higher standard. It is when it is right. People form habits and habits create futures. So I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. Write this down. Give before you ask. Give before you ask. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner and I'd stand in the control room watching them working their hands on the control board. Write this down. Write down, I expect to win. I expect to win. I expect to win. That's what I said to myself. I expect to be behind that microphone. That was my affirmation as I was volunteering. On the weekend, they'd come out to the parking lot. Their cars would be waxed and clean, inside out. They said, hey, who did this? I did, sir. How much you charge, young boy? Oh, nothing, sir. Just trying to help out. Wow. Look here. Here are my car keys. Donna Ross and the Supremes are coming to town. The Four Tops and the Temptations. Pick them up and take them to the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. I said, thank you, sir. I will. I drove these entertainers all over Miami Beach in the big long Cadillacs and the disc jockeys. I didn't have any driving license, but I was driving like I had. Then one day, it was a Saturday afternoon, a disc jockey was drinking while he was on the air by the name of Rockin' Roger. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room windows, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, drink, Rock, drink. Drink, Rock, gotta go and get him some more if he'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was general manager and answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Klein. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish the program. I said, I know. He said, would you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up. I said, now he must think I'm crazy. I called my mom and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come on, turn up the radio. I'm about to come on there. I waited for about 20 minutes and I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the records. Don't you say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get over. Rock out of the way. I put on a fast record. I said, look out, this is me, LB Triple P. Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle, certified, bona fide, dutifully qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. I was hungry. Shakes one time on your right and left and say, you gotta be hungry. Do that right now.
You gotta be hungry.
People that are hungry are willing to do the things that the others won't do.
Yes.
In order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. Here's your homework. Here's how I got here. I want you to get a 3x5 card. On one side, I want you to put on the Matthew 7:7. Ask, let's read this together, please. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Everybody together. Knock and the door will be opened for you. For everyone who asks receives, he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks the door will be open. And on the flip side, you put your goal, one goal that you want to achieve. And then you listen. You listen to my voice. You listen to the speech in the Georgia Dome. Me and Eric Thomas. You'll see Will Smith, you put that in. Will Smith, Les Brown, and Eric Thomas. You watch those videos on a regular basis. That tell you that you can live your dreams. And I can tell you, it will blow your mind. You text me, we're going to send you people that I've trained and made a difference. My goal is to create messages of hope. There's a Russian author, Leo Tolstoy. He said, as I face inevitable death, what is the meaning and purpose of my life will not be undone or destroyed when I'm gone. And I believe that the lives that I transform, the people that I speak to, the people that you speak to, the lives that you transform and the lives that they transform, that work will not be undone or destroyed when we're gone. So I'd like to leave this with you. I don't know what your goals are. Always remember your why. Those are my children. I can tell you the rhythm method does not work. Oh, behave, whatever. I have 5 boys and 5 girls. I'm going to sue those people, whoever came up with the rhythm method. It does not work. I tell my medication wearing off. But I want to leave this with you. I don't know what your goals are. Leave that up, please. Here's what I want to say. You have greatness in you. And I like to leave this with you. My mother used to love to hear me say, Leslie, yes, ma'am, Mama. Say that thing for me. It makes Mama feel good. Put your hand over your heart, please. That heart represents life. Life is God's gift to us. And how we live our lives is our gift to God. You have something special. Greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world. You have something special. You're more than a conqueror. You have something special. God chose you out of 400 million sperm. And I like to leave this with you. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, you'll work day and night for it. You give up your time, your peace, and sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. You have something special. You have greatness in you. God bless you. God bless America. God bless the day you were born. This is Mamie Brown's baby boy. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. You've got greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Our next speaker is one of the most well-known, well-sought-after real estate experts in the world. I can tell you from experience that if you do not know about buying and selling real estate and the importance of it is to your portfolio and to your investment future, you are in for a real treat. He has done tens of millions of dollars in real estate transactions, and he has taught, coached, mentored, and trained hundreds of thousands of men and women from 9 years old to 99 years old all over the world, just like you. You guys strap in, get ready for the one, the only Mr. James